This game review is on Ninja Gaiden made by Tecmo in 1989 for the NES. This game is without a shadow of a doubt a great classic to play. The game was so successful that it spawned 2 sequels with a year in between their release dates. Now when Ninja Gaiden 2 came out a year later, it was considered one of the best sequel video games ever, and it was, as the front cover says, hard to beat. As for this game, well, it's best to save it for another time, as it's not worth mentioning about it now. Sometime after the Super Nintendo came out, Tecmo decided to re-release the 3 Ninja Gaiden games into a Trilogy bundle, so you can play all the classics on one big cartridge. A few console generations later, Tecmo created an entirely new adventure on the Microsoft Xbox system with a different style of gameplay using the same name title and the main character, and it was just as good, if not better, as the first game. Just like the original game, the Xbox version also had a sequel for the 360, which was developed by Team Ninja, and it was just as successful as its predecessor for the NES. Tecmo also released a game for the PlayStation 3. It was just a remake of the first Xbox game with a few add-ons. However, what I want to talk about is my take on the original Ninja Gaiden video game for the NES, as it is the game that started it all. And so it begins. You play as the main character, Ryu Hayabusa, who has just discovered in a letter that his father was involved in a fight and died. Ryu decides to go on his quest for revenge, but along the way he gets entangled in situations with the CIA, his father's best friend Walter Smith, and a madman named Jockwheel, who is hell-bent on using some demon statues to bring about a creature that could destroy the world. This game was one of the first to use animated cutscenes in between gameplay, and it made the way for future games to use this very same process through different genres. This concept really gets you involved deeper in the game, and you just can't wait to see what's going to happen next. It's something like this scene. The gameplay is just awesome for an 8-bit game. The controls are easy and simple as possible. You just simply jump and attack with your sword. Along the way, you gather a few weapons, such as the red kunai that comes back to you. This will be one of the best weapons in the game you can actually use. Also, there are support items such as the clock, which temporarily freezes time, so you can get through areas that might have multiple enemies coming through. The multiple backgrounds are just stunning to look at as you progress through the game. From the streets, to the snow mountains, to the Amazon, and finally the demon temple where Jockwheel awaits you. And yeah, I know the sky in the snow mountain section is red. There was a glitch in the game as I was playing. Now with most games, some of the enemies are rather a pain in the ass to deal with. It makes you get very frustrated. There are annoying enemies such as the white guys who throw these boomerang-like objects at you, and then there are ones who like to throw things from a high ledge. And then there's everyone's favorite enemy, the fucking birds. Or eagles, whatever you want to call them. Why do I say the birds? Well, first of all, they come out of nowhere unexpectedly and can be rather a nuisance towards the later stages in the game. When you need to jump from one ledge to another, they come from anywhere, and attack you from any direction, and make you fall to your doom. Such as here. Another thing that interests me about these enemies is the amount of damage they do. Each of their attacks does 3 damage to your life. But wait, hold on for 1 second. How the fuck does something so little can do so much damage? I mean seriously, they do more damage than most of the enemies and even bosses in the game. They fly at you so quickly, they act like they want to kill you. They kinda remind me of those birds from that movie.
I hardly think a few birds are going to bring about the end of the world.
That may be true, lady, but if the birds in this game were to act like the ones in real life, we're all pretty much being deep shit about now. Now compare the birds in this game, which is Ninja Gaiden 2, to the ones in part 1. What you're about to see, the birds in this game are much more smoother animated, and to top it all off, they only do 1 damage. That's right, 1, not 3. The bosses in this game are as easy as hell once you get their attack pattern down. Some will still give you trouble here and there, but after you face them a couple of times, it's pretty much down pack. Be careful when you fight the last 3 bosses of this game, as you'll be fighting them back to back, because if you lose to any one of them at any point, guess where you'll end up at? Back at the beginning of stage 6-1. That is pure bullshit. So you have to go through the entire stage all over again just to get another crack at these guys. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. It's fun to play, except for the frustrating parts, and it has great replay value. I love this game despite some of the shit you have to go through in order to progress further. This game deserves a 9 out of 10 in my opinion, so if you haven't played the game yet, go try it out. And by the way, the ending is definitely worth seeing, so I won't show it to you to anyone who has beaten the game yet. With that said, I'll let Jocko finish the review.